Hi students, how are you all? This is S. Naveen Kumar, computer science teacher from Bharadasana Metric Higher Secondary School. Now we are going to see 12th standard computer science chapter number 3, scoping. What is scope? Scope refers to the accessibility of variable. Okay. In this part we are going to see two types of scopes and module. What are the two types of scopes? The two types of scopes are global scope and built-in scope. Okay. Now I recap the previous session. In that previous session, what are all the concepts we have discussed? Very simple one, that is, what is the scope? Scope refers to the accessibility of variable. Accessibility means using the variables in a particular program, and we are discussing two types. What are the two types? The two types are, first one is local scope and second one is enclosed scope. These are the two types of scopes we have discussed already. And what is mapping? Mapping means very simple. Here x equal to 5. Here x is a variable and 5 is a value that is constant. Here that constant is mapped with the variable x. That means the value which is assigned to the variable x. Yes, this is called mapping. Now we are going to see the global scope. What is the meaning of global? Global means a very simple, it is a worldwide verb. For example, we can accessing the resources all over the world in our real life. How we can access the resources in our real life? Very simple, we can accessing the resources using internet. We can access the resources with the help of an internet facility. We can collect the data from various places in our system. Okay. In that same way, global scope in our program, it is a very simple, it can be declared, that means a variable can be declared in above all the function. That means, for example, our brain is a global because it can control all the operations of our human body. In the same way, some variables are declared outside the function, that is called as the global scope. Let us consider the example. Example, a equal to 10. Here a is a variable and 10 is a value. Next one, DISP. DISP is a function. What is the usage of function? We can perform any task in that particular function. Okay. And print a. This refers closing a function. Okay. And next one, print a. In this pseudocode we have a two print statement, but we have a only one variable. This variable is called as a global scope because the variable a is declared above the part of a function. So it is called as a global scope variable. Are you clear? This is a global scope variable. It can be accessed inside the function and as well as outside the function. So the print a is present inside the function. This also can access the variable a. And the outside the function we have a print statement. This print statement is also access the variable as a. So this is the concept, comes under the global scope. What is the output of this pseudocode? So very simple. First, inside the function it can access the variable. What is the value? Yes, 10 should be displayed. Again the print statement that should be in outside the function. It also can access the variable a and display the result as 10. Are you clear? This is the global scope. Next we see the built-in scope. What is the meaning of built-in scope? Built-in means already we know that is a preloaded or predefined. Already defined some instructions or do some task that can be loaded in a library function. Yes. Built-in function means preloaded or that should be defined as in the form of predefined. Predefined. Okay, this is called as a built-in scope. Here it is a wide scope where we want it can be used. Okay, suppose we want to implement any other program or any other module, we can easily implement it. Okay, let us consider what is a library function. We can see in C++ program, we know already hash is a preprocessor directive. We have a keyword include, hash include. Include is a keyword and next one is IO stream. IO stream dot h. Here IO stream dot h is a header file. This header file consists of some instructions and that instructions can be implemented in some object. Let us consider we have two objects. What is the meaning of IO stream? IO stream means input and output stream. So you can take Cin. Here Cin is an object which is used to get the input from the user, that is called as a input statement. Okay, input statement. And Cout, what is the usage of this Cout? Cout is used for displaying the result. It is a output statement. Okay, it is a output statement. These instructions are already loaded in iostream.h header file. So this header file is called as a library function. Okay, in the same way in Python also we have a module. These modules are loaded in some functions. Okay, for example math in Python, math, math is a module. This module can consist of several mathematical functions. Here in Python also math is a module. With math module have lot of functions. These functions can be included using a import keyword. That means import math. Yes, import math. This math module can be imported in Python. We can use the what? Some built-in mathematical functions. What are the built-in? Example only we can see. We have a POW. POW is a function which have two parameters A comma B. Here A is the base value and B is the power value which is used to find the, for example, A equal to 2 comma B equal to 3. What happened? That should be considered as power of. A comma B means 2 comma 3. What will be the output we can get? 2 power 3. Yes, very good. The answer is 8. This is the concept of built-in scope. Next one is module. Very simple. Module is a part. What is the part? Any big task can be splitted into a small segments. Each segments are called as a module. Let us consider in our example practically ATM transactions. This is a big project. You consider what are the transactions. In first one, deposit a money. Okay, deposit is a module, and second one, withdraw. Withdraw is another module. and balance inquiry and code inserting and mini statement. We have several modules. Here this ATM is a big project. This project can be divided into several modules. That several module is called deposit and withdraw. Are you clear? And this is the process of converting a big project or any task into splitting some modules. That is called modular programming. Modular programming is the process to convert what? The modules, that means the task into a modules. Are you clear? This is called module and modular programming. Modular programming is a important 2-mark question. Next one, we are going to see the characteristics of module. What are the essential characteristics? These characteristics of module may be asked in a 3-mark question and sometimes may be asked in 5-mark question. Here, each and every modules have some special characteristics. What are that special characteristics? Very simple. It contains processing and logic data. What is the meaning of processing and logic data? Let us consider an example. Here C equal to A plus B plus D. Here data means you are giving some input A, B and D. These three are the input and plus is the operator. Here where it is the logic is there, you can add these three values and these three values can be added and then result should be stored in the variable C. Are you clear? This is called as a logic data. And then processing logic means we have some procedure to assign a task. That is called processing logic, and you are giving some input, that is called data, and produce the result as in information. Next one, separately compiled and stored. What is the meaning of separately compiled? Very simple. Compilation. What is the meaning of compilation? The task should be in the form of human understandable form. That is, a program is in the form of human understandable form. This can be converted into machine understandable form. That is called as the compilation. The process of converting to machine understandable form. That means 0 and 1, that is called compilation, and it can be stored in library. What is the purpose for stored in library? That executed file can be implemented in any other module. That is called included in any program. Whenever we want, that time we can utilize. Yes. Next one, it can be used by invoking. What is the meaning of invoking? Very simple. How can I call you? With the help of a name. Same way, invoking means calling. How can I call a function? A function can be called with the help of name and some parameter. Let us consider the previous example. POW A comma B. Here POW is the name of a function and A comma B are the parameters required to do a function. So this is called invoking a function with the help of name and parameter, and it can be developed in some module. Suppose we want to implement it in any other module, means it is possible. That is called reuse. These are the characteristics of modules. Are you clear? Next one is benefits of modular programming. So we are using a module, we have some benefits. Why we have some benefits? Well, let us consider a 75 kg rice pack. Able to carry, a single person able to carry the 75 kg rice pack? It's not possible. So we want to split that into 3 packs. That means 25, 25, 25. So it is easy to carry and implementation. The same way modules are splitted and then it can be implemented very easily. That means less code. Less code means the instructions are in minimum number of lines. that is instructions. Instructions are in minimum number of lines. So it is easily developed and easily find the errors. That is called what? Errors easily identified. Minimum number of lines means it is possible to view and go through the all each and every part. So we can easily find the error. Errors mean bug. Okay, and reuse. It can be developed for one purpose. It can be implemented. Suppose we need means we can utilize. So that is called reuse. And small team deals with a small part. What is the meaning of small team deals with small part? Let us consider I have 50 employees. Okay, 50 employees. I divide that 50 employees into 5 teams and allocate a separate task. It can be easily finished or not. In the same way, the small team deals with a small part. It can be easily finding and it can be easily solve that particular problem. And scope is controlled easily. Scope means variable cannot be limited beyond the limit. That means it can be implemented only in a what? That particular module. It cannot go to the another module. These are the some benefits of modular programming. Okay. Next one is a very simple concept, access control. What is an access control? Already we are discussed in C++, a very simple concept. Access control means we can restrict. How many types of access control are there? We have 3 types of access control. These are the 3 types of access control. One is private and next one is public and next one is protected. In C++, private is the default access specifier or access control, but in Python, public is the default access specifier. Where? In Python programming language. Okay, in Python programming language, public is the default access specifier, and private means if you want to accessing only within a function. That is called private. It cannot be accessed outside the function. How we can declare a particular variable? It is a very simple. You can declare the private variable using double underscore. Example, what is that? Double underscore a. Here a is treated as a private variable. That means preceding we have a double underscore. So this a is treated as a private variable. It can be accessed only within a particular class or within a function. It cannot be accessed outside the function. Are you clear? Next one is protected. We can use a single underscore. Example, what is that example? In the same way, single underscore b. It should be treated as a protected variable. It can be accessed within a function and sub function, or it can be accessed within a class and as well as derived class, but it cannot be accessed from outside. But in public variable, here no need to specify any single underscore or double underscore. Example, C. Here C is a variable declared as public. This can be accessed anywhere in the Python program. Okay, or anywhere in the function or anywhere in the class, whatever it may be, we can access everywhere. These are the access control. This access control is used as a in scope of a variable. Okay. Next, I recap the today's session. What are the concepts we are discussed today? Very simple. What are the 2 types of scope? Already you know scope refers to the accessibility of variable, and today we are discussed 2 types of scope. What are the 2 types of scopes? Global scope and built-in scope. Global scope means it can be accessed anywhere in the program. Built-in scope means predefined and preloaded functions, or call it as a built-in scope. It can be stored in library functions. And then next one is module. Module means a part of a program is called a module. A big task can be splitted into a small task. That small task is called as a module. And the process of converting big task into a small task, that is called modular programming. And today we have discussed what are the characteristics and what are the benefits of modular programming and module. And then next one is access control. We have three types of access control. What are they? That is private, public and protected. In Python, which is a default access control? That is a public. But in C++, private is a default access specifier or access control is a private. Okay. Here we have attached the study material. You can go through the study material and evaluate yourself with the help of self-assessment question paper. These contents are added in the below description. Okay. Thank you, students.